Greetings, my name is Dan G, and in this video I shall be kit bashing a Rogue Psyker. To begin with, I needed a body, and I've chosen one from the Delaque Gang members from Games Workshop's Necromunda. Probably pronounced that one wrong. Removing one of the many bodies from this kit, I don't think it really matters which one, I trimmed and cleaned it up with my knife before gluing it all together. The next step is a head, and for this conversion I decided to use one from the Slaanesh Hellstriders, in my case coming from the Shadow Pain box. However, they do come in a kit by themselves, and either way there are several spare heads in the box. Now, this head can't just be glued into the Delaque body, as making their kits easily interchangeable would be far too easy for Games Workshop. And in this case, we need to use the neck that comes with the Delaque kit. This, however, does not fit the head too well, so it will require some cutting. First up with making the head fit was taking my clippers to the slight bulb on the bottom of the head, and then moving onto a knife to clean up the area. It is important at this stage to note that you should regularly check the parts together, just to make sure you have a decent fit. After cleaning up the cut on the head, it is time to do similar to the neck, first with clippers, and then a knife or a file, if you have one, to flatten out the area to ensure that the glue can get a nice bond and release. Once this has been done, the head and the neck can then be glued together, and then with a bit more glue you can add it to the body. Now, at this point I should have added something to the end of the pipe that comes from around the mouth area to the waist. In the Delaque Gang they have some sort of breathing apparatus on their belts, but I decided to use this as a kind of microphone speaker setup, designed obviously to help him preach his chaotic messages or something along those lines. To do this, I took one of the exhaust vent things from a Space Marine backpack, cleaned up the cut area and glued it onto the belt, with the vent part facing forwards to represent the speaker. With that mistake corrected, it is time to put on some arms. Taking two of the arms from the Delaque kit, some hands and weapons were needed. Now, the datasheet for a Rogue Psyker has them equipped with a las pistol and a chaos stave. For the latter there are many choices available, and pretty much any demonic icon from the various chaos demon boxes would work, and have the added benefit of being specific to your chosen chaos god. In my case I took the Slaanesh icon from the Hellstriders, as I already earmarked the Daemonette one from the Shadow Pain box for another later project. Now, the arms I'm using require a small tab taken off the wrist area to allow it to fit onto the hand that came with the staff. Once this is done and cleaned, the hand can be glued to the arm, and then the whole thing attached to the body in an appropriate pose. Now, because my choice of icon stave being in a left hand, I needed to find a right hand holding a las pistol, but what's left of my Delaque box after several kit bashes only had a left-handed one holding a las pistol. I did, however, have one in my Escher box, so I used that instead. Doing this meant that I had to once again remove the tab on the wrist and clean the area up, and also taking the arm from the Escher kit, had to clip off the hand and clean the weapon at the wrist area. This had been done a while ago, as I used the arm for another conversion. Once that is done, a bit of plastic glue, you can attach the two together, and then the arm can, you guessed it, be glued onto the body. With the arms added on, I thought maybe I could do with adding a few more bits to this model, just to flesh it out, give it a bit more of a story and add some interest. To begin with, I wanted a knife to suggest maybe some ritualistic aspect to this Chaos Worshipper. There are many of these in both Imperial Guard and Necromunda kits. I chose one of the Escher bits I had lying around from my Cultist conversion. This needed only a little bit of trimming on the back to give a flatter surface, and then I could just glue it in on the waist. With weapons, a nice ritualistic knife, I thought, what the hell, let's add some spikes. Now, there's a plethora of spikes available in several Chaos kits that you could use. I decided to take some from the Daemonette heads I had lying around in my biz box, taking them carefully off the head with my knife so as not to damage the head too much, as they're real useful. The cuts could be cleaned and then glued the spikes into place around the collar area. And with that, the kit bash has been completed. Our Psyker is now ready to head out into the galaxy, spreading corruption and heresy wherever he goes. Nearly. What's left is to baste and paint the model, after which he should have something looking a little like this. So I chose a heavily purple themed colour scheme with gold accents, as it fits well into the army that I am putting together. Now, with that done, I would like to say thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this kit bash, and hope that it gives you some ideas for your own armies. Have a good one, guys.